Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. John Cottrell here of Mosaic Yoga, and this is a Power Hour class. I'm just going to give you a few moments so you can get set up if you're just tuning in. So, yes, we are here. Hello. Glad that you are here. So, go ahead and roll out your yoga mat. And we're just going to get started momentarily here. So, welcome. So, roll out your yoga mat, get your bottled water, and this is the Power Hour class. This is a 60-minute power vinyasa yoga practice. So vinyasa, that just means we're going to be flowing, moving with breath, and I've put a sequence together where we're going to be focusing on hamstrings and balance. Hamstrings and balance, that's our focus today. So here's what you'll need for your props. Probably just a couple of yoga blocks or several if you happen to have them. Something that's stackable. This is going to help with some of our balancing poses, bringing the floor a little bit closer to you. So some yoga blocks, books, something stackable, that'll be great. That's about all that you need. Since we are working with hamstrings, if you happen to have a yoga strap, you're welcome to have one and use one. I don't have one with me at the moment, but we can also do some of these poses certainly without a yoga strap. But if you'd like to have them, that's great too. Okay, so I think that's it. If you need anything else or want something else, like a blanket, a pillow, anything like that, have that nearby. But otherwise, we are set to go. So let's go ahead and start in mountain pose. You want to stand nice and tall with your feet about hip distance apart and your toes pointing forward. We're going to take a few moments here, just standing nice and tall, taking some deep breaths. You might breathe in through your nose. You can exhale through your nose or even out through your mouth. A few more times. A nice full breath in. And your exhale. Just a way to get reacquainted to your breath. Breathing in this fashion, breathing with intention, really helps us to prepare for our practice. So really settling in, grounding, connecting, and coming to this moment. Slow, deep breaths. You can do this with your eyes opened, so you might take a soft gaze forward, even slightly downward at the ground. You can even close your eyes and just continue your journey inward. Slow, steady breaths. And perhaps breathing in a way where you can feel your breath and hear your breath. Very nice. And as you inhale, you want to feel the lifting and lengthening of your spine, so feel even taller. And feeling the breath rising to fill up your lungs, nice expansiveness in your chest and lungs. Then as you exhale, draw navel inward towards your spine. So we're engaging the abdominal lock. And these two sensations really are going to help us with some of our balance work. So you want to feel lengthened, tall, proud even. So that's our inhale to help that lengthening of the spine and really feel the breath rising to fill up your lungs. And then when you exhale, we draw navel to spine, engaging the abdominal lock. That helps us just with some steadiness. It'll help with balance. It even helps with movement, especially through dynamic poses. Very good. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths in and out as we now prepare our bodies to move. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead, just completing that full extension through the entire body, getting tall. Let's exhale and slowly fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to as you make your way down and perhaps touching your toes. Then inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or thighs to extend your spine. We're going to hold here on the exhale. So half forward fold, holding here, continue the breathing. I want you to imagine that you're still standing in mountain pose because there's still this lengthening in the spine. You want to inhale and feel breath come up towards lungs, expanding there. Still that lengthening through the spine. Even feel an imaginary line or energy moving through the very top of your head and even through your tailbone towards the wall behind you. That's the in-breath, continuing that good length. And the exhale, navel, in this case, drawing up towards spine to engage the abdominal lock. Even in this half forward fold, you might feel the engagement of your hamstrings. We're going to inhale here. As we exhale, lean back into your heels, bend your knees. Then inhale, rising up nice and tall, reach into the air. That big stretch. Exhale, bring your arms down by your side. All right, let's do another half salute to the sun. Same sequence with a slight change. Inhale, reach all the way up. Feel that lengthening through the sides of your body. Exhale, lead with your heart. Fold forward. Certainly put a bend in your knees as you need to as you make your way down, maybe touching the ground. Inhale, rise up halfway. Long, flat back, half forward fold. Now exhale and come down to forward fold. So once again, perhaps touching your toes. You can even bring in a couple of stacked blocks just for a little balance and support. So you don't have to touch the ground, so your hands can be on those stacked blocks. Or if you happen to be in a deep forward fold, you can bend your knees a little bit more. Maybe you can touch the ground with your fingertips. And maybe a hanging forward sensation where your whole upper body feels like it's being drawn towards the earth. Loosen up your head here by nodding yes, shake your head no. You can even circle the shoulders a little bit. And you can even sway a little bit left and right to get a little release in the low back and your hips. And of course, we're still getting a nice hamstring lengthening in this standing forward fold. Let's get ready to stand. So shift your weight back into your heels. Bend your knees. Let your hips come down like you're going to sit down. Look forward. Take your arms out to the side. Then inhale. Let's stand up nice and tall. Reach up. Big stretch. There we go. Exhale. Bring your arms back down by your side. Returning to mountain pose. Just hold here for several breaths. And if you'd like a little circle of the shoulders, continue some movement through the neck, maybe just your head side to side like this to get a stretch through the side of the neck. And you can even just nod up and down and even shake your head no. Just to get into those neck muscles a little bit. All right, let's continue with our Sun Salutation, Series A. Here we go. Inhale, let's reach all the way up. Another big stretch. Exhale, fold forward. Good hinge of hips, bent knees, make your way down. Then inhale, rise up halfway. Again, the crown of your head leading you forward, tailbone to the back of the room. Exhale, fold and bend so we can bring hands to the floor. Step both of your feet back into plank pose or a high push-up position. Let's hold here for a moment. Just a breath in. Exhale, bend your knees so you can send your hips up into the air. Downward facing dog. Feel free to make any adjustments with your feet, maybe even your hands on the mat. Just help settle into the pose. Let's pay attention to the hands at first. Just press firmly into the ground with the palms, making them nice and flat. And as you press, you might feel energy through your arms, just lengthening through the arms to help stabilize the upper half of the body. Then with the feet, you're on your toes perhaps, but you may want to pedal the feet. Press one heel down, then the other. Feel that lengthening and stretch through the calf muscles. Take your time with that. As the heels press down with an exhale, feel that sensation through the calf muscles. When the heels lift, you might feel a sensation through your toes. And while doing this, your knees might bend and your hips might shift side to side. If you're moving, let's come back to center in stillness. Take a breath in. When you exhale, walk, step, or even jump both feet up to the top of your mat. Once there, inhale, extend spine, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold. Weights in the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, come all the way up. Reach into the air. Good. Exhale, arms down by your side. Let's just pause for a moment. Another deep breath or two while in standing. This is a great opportunity just to feel re-grounded, reconnected. Maybe feeling different each time we return to what I might call the home base. All right, let's go to Series B. Inhale, extend your arms into the air. Exhale, sit back and down into an imaginary chair. So chair pose. Weights in your heels and your hips. Reaching out through your hands. So we breathe in. Then exhale, dive out of your seat, down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway or just to extend the spine. Exhale, bent knees, hands to the floor, step walker, jump both feet back, plank pose. Inhale once you're here. Exhale, bend elbows, lower your chest down towards the floor, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, press hands into the floor, straightening your arms to look forward, upward facing dog. You can even choose Cobra right here. Exhale onto your toes, lifting hips into the air, downward facing dog. Let's continue moving with our lunges. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you, reaching long out behind you. Exhale, bring right foot to the top of the mat. Let's turn left heel to the floor, shifting weight back into that foot so it feels firmly connected to the ground. That should release weight and pressure in your hands. So you can inhale, hinge from hips, rise up, warrior one. Facing forward out over that front knee. Exhale, folding again, bringing hands down to the ground. We'll step right foot back, plank pose, bend elbows, lower your way down. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. When you're ready to move, inhale to extend left leg up and back, reaching through your toes. And exhale, let's step the left foot up to the top of the mat next to left hand. Right heel turns to the floor again. Put pressure in that back foot. So you can easily lift hands, hinge from hips, rising up, warrior one, facing forward. Exhale, folding to come back down to the ground. Plant your hands. Slide left foot back, plank. Finish your sequence, bending elbows, lowering chest. Inhale, up dog. Again, you can choose Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's hold in down dog again, make any adjustments with your hands and feet. Settle into the pose. Hands press firmly into the ground. Flatten the hands. Feel energy and strength and length in your arms. Pedal the feet. Stretch the calves and toes. Deep breathing. We're going to take a seat in a moment. When you're ready, nice full inhale. You're going to exhale. You can hop forward, cross legs, and take a seat this time, sitting in the center of your mat, and go ahead and roll down onto your back. We're going to go into bridge pose. So you're going to lie down with the knees bent, feet planted into the ground. Take a few moments here just to settle, relax, release. Take some deep breaths. Feel the ground underneath you. This is just getting us prepared for bridge, which is of course a back bend, but even think of this as another way to connect to the ground. Since we're working with a little bit of balance, part of that working is connecting and feeling rooted and connected to the floor, the ground underneath you, especially when you're standing or balancing on one foot. So this is just that reminder. All right, let's get ready to move. Full breath in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, connecting, navel to spine, engaging your center so you can peel your hips up off the ground, lifting hips up into the air, bridge pose. Then you might want to get your shoulders a little bit underneath you if you can by rocking your upper body left and right several times. Arms, shoulders underneath you if you can. And also, if you can, squeeze your shoulder blades together and press your elbows or triceps down into the floor. So my arms are bent at 90 degrees, so I can press down. And this is going to help stabilize the body. Lots of energy here, so be aware of what's happening. We're going to hold here for a little longer. Let's start with the feet. Root down into the ground. So your hips might lift a little higher. This will also engage the thighs. Let's also imagine that you're squeezing something or holding on to something between your knees, like one of your yoga blocks. Feel your belt line lifting, belly expanding, arms pressing into the floor, chest expanding as you're breathing in, and maybe squeezing shoulder blades together. All right. Let's wiggle the toes forward a little bit, extend your arms up into the air, roll your way down. Lightly touch. Let's extend the legs out front and reach the arms behind you. Lengthen here for a breath or two. We're going to do one more thing here on the floor. We're going to get into a leg extension here. So first, bring right knee to chest and just catch that right knee with your hands and just hug it in gently, you don't have to pull too forcefully here. Just hug it in because from here it's going to extend this right leg. Just lengthening it as best as you can. It's okay if there's a bend in the knee. Right now my knee is bent, and that's fine. And just use your hands just to hold on to the leg at the knee or hamstring, or maybe you can reach up a little higher at the calf. If you can extend the leg fully, that's fine, but it's always okay to have a bend in the knee. This is where a strap might come in handy. If you happen to have one, you're welcome to use one. All right. So we're just holding on to the leg. The foot is energized. Mine is somewhat flexed. You can also point the toe. You can actually do a variation. You can do several of these, like flex, point, just to kind of get into the muscles of the foot, which is quite nice. Okay, let's add a little bit more of a stretch. So we're inhaling, feeling like the leg or your toes are lifting right up towards the sky. And the exhale, using the hands, just a little movement of the leg towards your body, okay, towards your chest perhaps. Just a little bit, just enough to feel some extra lengthening sensation in your hamstring. One more breath in and out. And then we'll bend the knee, give it another little hug in, then release the entire leg out onto the floor. Pause, rest, take a breath. It's just a way of reconnecting to the ground and realigning. And then we'll do the other side. So draw left knee in. We're getting ready. And we'll extend the leg up. Leg can be all the way straight or keep a bend in the knee and just hold on to the leg with both hands. Let's do a series of just flexing and pointing with the foot just to get into those muscles. And as you do that, you might even feel how the muscles are working down through the entire leg. That's something kind of fun to be aware of. And then if you'd like, just hold the foot in position. Inhale, feel like the whole leg is rising up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, just a gentle pull of the leg with your hands, as if you're going to send your foot behind you, behind your head. Several breaths. Now again, these don't have to be forceful movements. Very gentle, just enough where you have sensation. 2 more breaths. After the second breath, we'll bend the knee, re-extend the leg out onto the floor. Same thing, realign. It's almost like you're in Shavasana, but we're not at the end of practice just yet. Take a breath. Then hug both knees into chest. Start rocking carefully forward and back. Find your breathing. With a good exhale when you're ready, rock your way up to seated so we can come to boat pose right here. You can have the feet lifted. You can certainly do this with heels on the ground, or start with heels on the ground and then lift the feet like so. Again, energize the feet. Flex the feet. Knees can stay bent. Hold on to the legs. Help extend the spine. Lift yourself up. Breathe in. Exhale, draw belly in to keep that core engagement. It's that same sensation we established at the beginning of practice in mountain pose. Inhale, lengthen spine, feel tall, lungs expanding. Exhaling, engage the abdominal lock. Okay, let's continue to move. Breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, maybe hands in front if you can. Hop or step back, plank pose, hold. Let's take a shortcut to down dog. You're going to bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air, down dog. Adjust. Let's do our lunge sequence. Inhale, extend right leg up. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel plants into the floor. Firm connection back there. Inhale, float up, warrior 1. And then our exhale to warrior 2, turning torso towards the left side of the room. Arms come down to parallel. I like to take the feet a little wider here, lunging a little deeper. You do what feels right for you for your warrior 2 position. Arms extended. Let's just hold here for a couple breaths. Just check in with alignment while you're here. Right knee and toes are pointing forward for a nice opening and release in the inner thigh. And then side angle. Let's reach out over the right leg. Right arm down, left arm up. Reach, stretch. Good extension. Nice opening up through the chest space here. Maybe a side body stretch, opening up through the hips. Let's breathe in. And exhale, we'll carefully turn to bring the hands back down to the floor. Step back, plank, hold, plank. Shortcut down dog, bend the knees, hips into the sky. Then inhale, extend left leg up, reaching long. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel plants into the floor. Hinge from hips. Inhale, float up, reach up. Exhale, opening, warrior 2. Settle in, make your foot adjustments if you need to or want to. Again, being aware of alignment so your left knee is pointing directly forward. You might even check in just to see if your arms are parallel to the floor. Just awareness of the body. Now our side angle pose. Reaching forward, angled upper body, rotate the arm, so left arm is reaching downward, right arm reaching up. Now you can certainly touch the ground if you want to with the left hand or bring in those stacked blocks. This is where I choose to go usually for side angle pose. Noticing the sensations that are arising in your body. Let's take a breath in and exhale, turn, hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. This time we'll finish the push-up, come down, chaturanga. You can always do the shortcut, however. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Hold for a moment. And then a nice full breath in, fill up your lungs. As you exhale, engage your belly, walk, step, or hop. Both feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to extend spine. Exhale, fold. Weights in the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, grow tall, reach into the air. And exhale, arms down by your side. So we return to our home base. Maybe a couple breaths here. All right, let's get into balancing. So tree pose. Whenever you're ready, we're going to start shifting weight over into right foot. I'm going to try to mirror you. So right foot planted into the floor. Feel tall. So another breath in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, engage your center so you can float the left foot up, maybe flexing the foot. Keeping it strong and energized, we'll swing the knee out to the side like so, and placing this foot on the inside of your standing leg. Right there, nice hip opener, balanced. Inhale, extend the arms up into the sky. Exhale, belly in. So it's the same sensation. We want to get longer, taller, and we hold securely using that exhale to help engage the abdominal lock. We're going to add one more thing here. Let's keep the arms extended. Swing left knee forward, lifting the knee with the flexed foot. You're going to extend the leg just out front. I'm going to turn this way so you can see this. Okay? So I'm not lifting the leg really high. It's just pushing through the heel of the foot just so the leg is straight, just like that, even if it's low to the ground like that. Keep reaching high. Keep flexing the left foot. And then bring that foot to the floor. Arms sweep down by your side. Good. Feel free to maybe roll your shoulders. That's a long time to hold your arms up into the air, so feel free to kind of shake that out. Alrighty. Whenever you're ready, we'll do the other side. So we'll start shifting weight now into the left foot. Press it into the ground. There we go. We're inhaling to get nice and tall. Exhale, belly in. That also gets us ready for balance, so we can float right foot up, flexing the foot. Then swing knee out to the side for the hip opener, placing foot on the inside of the standing leg. Feel secure here. You can take some time here. When you feel ready, inhale, extend your arms up into the air, getting long and tall. Exhale, pull belly in, engaging the abdominal system. Let's hold for several breaths. To help with balance, you might be focusing on something out in front of you or even down on the ground. Find the breath. All right, now we're going to swing the right knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot, then extend the leg. It doesn't have to be high, okay? Just extend it, pushing through the heel. So you have flexed the foot perhaps, pushing, pressing. Really feel the elongation through the body. Reach a little higher. Straight right leg. And then just set that foot onto the floor, arms back down by your side, and maybe roll out those shoulders again. Very nice. All right, so a little balancing work and hamstring work with just that leg extension. All right, let's keep flowing and adding on. Here we go. Inhale, reach into the air. Exhale, chair pose. Sitting back and down into the imaginary seat. Inhale. Exhale, let's dive forward. Touching toes perhaps. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bent knees, hands to the floor. Let's step back into plank pose. Come on down if you like. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you, and exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. We're going to high lunge this time, so left heel stays lifted, all 10 toes pointing forward. We still need to find balance. so we can easily float the hands off the floor, hinging from hips, rising up. Let's hold here. Reach high, lunge low, and squeeze to center. It starts with the belly, then maybe your legs, and even your arms. Holding here. So we're getting into perhaps this left hip flexor. We're going to do a little bit more in a moment with this left hip flexor. But something before that. Inhale. Exhale, open to warrior two. Straighten the right leg. Turn right foot so it's facing the same direction as the left foot. And if the feet happen to be staggered, just adjust them so they're more aligned. Like that. Nice and tall, arms extended out to the side. I like to call this a star shape. We're going to inhale, reach out with the arms, feel tall through the spine. Exhale, pull belly in and put a bend in your knees, then fold. And come down to the ground. Touching the ground. Inhale, rise up to fingertips to help extend your spine as if you're crawling forward. Then exhale, go back down to your forward fold. You can keep a good bend in your knees. And this is going to affect the legs. So more hamstring work. You can loosen up the head, neck, and shoulders. A little weight shift towards your toes as if you want to lift your heels off the ground. It's going to put a little bit more emphasis on your hips and glutes. You might even want to feel like your hips are lifting up towards the ceiling as you're in this forward fold. One more breath in and out. Make sure you feel balanced on both feet so you're not putting all that weight in the toes again. And then walk your hands over towards right foot, turning the right foot towards the front of your mat. So you're kind of in this lunge here. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. We're more in a lunge. And then we're going to set the left knee onto the mat. If you need to pad your left knee, use a blanket or a towel or even fold your mat underneath the knee. I'm not going to pad mine. I have a really thick mat. But if you need padding for the knee, use that. So we're in this lunge. Hands are still on the floor. You might rise up to your fingertips. Just help lift torso a little bit to help extend spine like you're going forward. You may also want to kind of wiggle your right foot forward a little bit. Alrighty? Because we're at a starting line at a race. Okay? You can even tuck the toes behind you and lift that back knee. So something like that. But keep the knee on the floor because we're going to go for this deep lunge. We're just sending the hips forward and they naturally kind of go downward. So we get into this left hip flexor. You can certainly bring in these blocks here if you just need a little extra support or lift away from the floor, something like this. Very nice to have. We're getting to that left hip flexor. Some deep breaths. There's a sensation of moving forward, like being led by your heart perhaps, like you're just going to crawl or move forward. 3 more breaths here. Notice where you have sensation. Alrighty, if you're deep in that lunge and you've got props, first set your props to the side. Let's get out of that deep lunge by sending the hips back. Tuck toes behind you, lift the knee. Plant the hands firmly into the floor. You might even lift hips a little higher so you can slide this right foot back, all the way back, meeting the other, and then come down, chaturanga. Up dog. And then downward facing dog. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. When you're ready, inhale, extend left leg up. And exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, going to high lunge, so right heel stays lifted, all 10 toes pointing forward, shifting weight back, lightness in the hands, so you can easily hinge your way up, high lunge. Reach and stretch, and then lunge low. Hug to center, pull belly in, engaging the abdominal lock, squeeze inner thighs towards each other for a little bit more leg stability, and with the arms, even feel like you're holding on to something between your hands. A couple more breaths. And we'll take a breath in. Exhale, open it to warrior two. Arrive in the pose. Straighten the left leg. Turn left foot so it's pointing the same direction as the right foot. Adjust the feet if you need to. Tall torso. Arms out to the side for your star shape. Breathe in. Get tall. Exhale, pull belly in, bend knees, and fold. Carefully, take your time, meet the ground. Inhale, re-extend spine by rising up to fingertips. And exhale, fold. Hold. And again, that slight shift of weight forward towards toes. So you can feel like you can lift your hips up a little higher. It'll be very subtle, but you might feel some changes in the legs, your hips, your glutes. Relax your head and neck. You might want to nod yes, shake head no. Shift the weight back a little bit so you're more balanced on both feet. Walk your hands over towards left foot. Turn your foot, those toes, towards the front of the mat. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. So we're in that lunge, kind of runner's lunge here. Bring right knee down to the ground. Pat it if you need to. Keep hands on the ground or bring in those blocks. We're just going to kind of wiggle the toes forward a little bit so we have a little bit more space. As you push hands into the floor, you're extending spine, feeling like you're going forward. And that also allows your hips to come forward and naturally downward. Take your time with this. Use the breathing to help you incrementally move deeper into the pose. Be aware of the sensations here. Some opening and some release in the right hip flexor. So this of course also affects the left inner thigh. Remember, there's a lengthening spine quality, like you're moving forward, being led by your heart. Let's take 3 more breaths. After that third breath, starting to release out of the pose, moving your blocks out of the way. Tuck your toes behind you, lifting the knee. Pushing hands into the floor, hips rising so we can slide left foot back, plank. Feel that nice re-extension through the entire body, chaturanga. Up dog and downward facing dog. Let's take another seat. You'll hop forward, cross legs to take a seat, or just kneel down, take a seat in the center of your mat. Or you want to scoot back a little bit because we're going to extend the legs here. We're just going to do a seated forward fold. Again, you can use a strap here if you want. Otherwise, just want to lengthen the legs, flex your feet. You can always put a bend in the knees. We're going to start with staff pose by placing hands on the floor by your hips, pushing down to help extend spine. You might even roll shoulders back just to get some good alignment here. Again, more awareness of the body. Deep breaths. Maybe one more in staff pose. And we'll take a forward fold. So we'll inhale, take arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips a little bit. Just a little bit is fine. Then bring hands down to your shins. Again, you can be using a strap wrapped around the bottoms of the feet, holding onto the straps. Another breath in for more length in the spine. Exhale, step down the legs, or a little tug of the strap to fold a little bit more. Again, you don't have to go very far with this to perhaps create sensation. I know for me, I don't really have to go too far. I'm just right at my shins, okay, right at the ankles. And that's about as far as I really need to go. I could even soften it up a little bit so my body doesn't feel like it's straining. But deep breaths, wherever you happen to be. Let's take 3 more breaths. This is our seated forward fold. Now I'm not folded too far down and there's a slight curvature in the spine. This feels just right at this moment. Okay, you just want to be aware of that. That each time you come to a familiar pose or one that you do all the time, it might be different each time that you perform it. All right, if you're holding onto a strap, maybe release the strap, reach forward. Then inhale, extend and reach up with the arms. Nice L shape in the body. Exhale, arms down by your side. Just come back to staff pose. So maybe hands pressing into the floor by your hips to help re-extend spine. Hold for a breath. Good. And then soften. If you have a strap there, let's move it out of the way. Let's go to cobbler's pose or bound angle. So bending the knees to get that stretch out of the hamstrings. Soles of the feet touch. You can just hold on to shins or ankles or feet or toes. Inhale again, more length in the spine. Always want to grow tall. Exhale, draw belly in, hinge forward. Again, a little bit is fine, maybe mimicking what you did in the seated forward fold when your legs were straight. Or here you might want to round your back a little bit more, maybe fold a little bit deeper. And just several breaths here, so you feel that stretch in the inner thighs. And if the back is rounded, you might feel this in your back all the way down the spine. Three more breaths. And if your back is rounded, chin is probably lowered here, so you want to lift the chin, maybe look out in front of you. That will help that re-extension of your spine. And then hinge from hips, so you're rising up nice and tall. And then start to lean back slowly. As you lean back, bring your knees together, then lift your feet, and you'll be in boat pose. Holding onto the backs of the legs here. Nice extension of the spine. Breathe in to fill up your lungs, exhaling to engage your center. You can always hold on. You can always release the legs, arms reaching out in front of you. We're going to flow from here. Here we go. Inhale first. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Hop or step back, plank pose. Let's go ahead and complete the series, Chaturanga. Up dog and downward facing dog. Let's hold dog for a couple breaths. When you're ready, inhale. Exhale, walk, step, or jump, both feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale to extend the spine, lengthening. Exhale, fold. Weights in the heels, bent knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up, reaching into the air. Exhale, arms down by your side. Very nice. All right, let's put in some more balance work here. This is where you might want to use your blocks. So let's get our blocks and put them near the top of the mat so they're easily accessible. I'm just going to adjust my mat a little bit here. Okay, so blocks stacked. If you've got 4 or 8 blocks, you can use your blocks there. All right, mountain pose. Blocks are out in front of you, ready to go. But find your mountain pose. Let's find that connection to the ground, our home base. Here we go. We're going to inhale, extend arms up into the sky. Exhale, fold, soft knees. Make your way down, perhaps touch toes. Now, inhale, rise up halfway, hold, half forward fold. See those blocks? Inhale. And as you exhale, fold, but bring those blocks in so that your hands or fingertips can kind of steady yourself on the blocks. So I'm kind of using the blocks to help me balance and support body. From here, shift your weight over into your right foot. Even put a little bend in that right knee, but feel that right foot fully connect to the ground. Inhale to extend spine. Exhale, engage belly. As you engage belly, pick up your left foot and extend the leg back, just reaching long behind you. Reach. Now we're still using these blocks, so you may have some weight shifting forward towards the blocks, but let's see if we can rely less on the blocks. That just means a shift of weight and energy. The left foot's kind of pulling back, so your hands hopefully are a little lighter on the blocks, okay? And you're more balanced standing on this right foot. If you're able, take one hand, reach behind you like this, just kind of down your side. You can even bring that hand to your thigh. And if you can, do that with both hands. Both hands on right thigh, that knee is bent, or both hands reaching behind you, like this. So another balancing pose. Let's bring hands back down to the blocks. Bend the left knee, bring it in towards chest, let the back round, and then set the foot down next to the other. You'll be in forward fold, so just come to forward fold. Hold there for a moment. We're just going to do the other side. So we're going to rise up halfway lift. We still have hands on blocks. Softness in the knees. Put weight into the left foot. Inhale just to ensure lengthen the spine. Exhale, pull belly in, engaging to help pick up right foot, extend right leg back. Straight as can be, but it's really an effort of reaching through your toes. Now you can keep the hands on your blocks like this. If this is fine for you, do that. Or find that balance. Start to shift weight back so there's less weight on the blocks perhaps. Maybe you can take one hand and reach behind you or place it on your thigh while the other hand stays on your block for stability. Or use both hands. Either both hands on your thigh or both hands reaching back. Hands return to the blocks. Bend right knee, bring it in towards chest. Set foot down, forward fold. Let's move the blocks out of the way. Weights in the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Let's grow tall and pause up here at the top, reaching extended mountain. Exhale, arms down by your side. Very nice. A little shoulder roll is nice, a little neck movement if you want to. So that's a little bit more exciting as far as our balance work, okay? Let's add on here. Now we're going to move into tree pose. We're going to do that same leg extension that we did a while back, but then we're going to transfer that into a lunge. So just follow me. So mountain pose. Start shifting weight into right foot. Inhale, tall through the spine. Exhale, engage belly. Pick up left foot. Bend knee. Swing knee out to the side. Left foot to the inner thigh. So we're getting ready for tree. Extend the arms up into the air. Hold that for a couple breaths just to establish the balance in tree pose. Then swing left knee forward. Lift knee with the flexed foot. Extend that left leg just straight out in front. Again, it could be at that angle like we did earlier. That's fine for this. Hold. Push through the heel. Reach up through the fingertips. Okay, now rebend the left knee. We're going to hinge forward. You'll put a bend in the right knee, the leg you're standing on, but extend the left leg back. Set the toes down on behind you, and you'll rise up. You'll be in high lunge like this. Then go ahead and open it to a warrior two. Straighten the right leg. Turn foot so it's facing the same direction as left foot. Adjust the feet. Star pose. Breathe. Get tall. Exhale, pull belly in, bend knees, and fold. Inhale, re-extend spine. Exhale, fold. Let's hold here for several breaths. Same thing as you did earlier, maybe a little weight shift towards toes. Feel hips lifting. Notice where you feel that, maybe in the lower glutes, upper hamstrings. Plant the heels. Walk your hands over towards right foot. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. Let's set left knee onto the floor. Let's do that same deep lunge. Lengthen that back foot. You might even move right foot forward a little bit. Extend spine. Inhale to help that extension. Exhale, lunge deeply. Won't be here too long, but just reintroducing this sensation to the body. 2 more breaths. All right, let's release out of that deep stretch. Come up onto tiptoes behind you so you can relift the left knee. Plant the hands. Slide right foot back, plank pose. Come down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold down dog for a moment. Jump, step, or walk both feet back up to the top of the mat. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold. Weights in the heels, bent knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Grow tall, reach into the air. Exhale, arms down by your side. All right, that's a portion of our sequence, but let's do the other side first. All right, start shifting weight into left foot. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, core controlled. We're floating right foot up. Swinging knee out to the side, foot to the inner left leg. Once planted, inhale, extend the arms up into the sky. Exhale to engage your core. Couple breaths. Tree pose. We're going to get ready for that leg extension. Let's keep the arms in the air. Let's swing right knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot, and then kick. That right heel forward, extending the leg. Keep it at an angle. You can certainly lift it higher if you want to, but not necessary. Bend the right knee, lifting the knee. Hinge forward so we can start extending the right leg back, setting the toes on the floor behind you so now you're in high lunge. Then open to warrior two. Set up for star shape, so we're going to straighten the left leg. Turn left foot to meet right foot. Star. Inhale, reach long, get tall. Exhale, pull belly in, bend knees and fold. All the way down. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Let's hold here for several breaths. A weight shift towards toes, lifting hips. Notice the sensation. Plant the heels. Walk hands towards left foot as you turn those toes forward. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you, runner's lunge. Set the right knee down. Maybe wiggle the left foot forward a little bit. Lengthen that back foot. Inhale to extend spine like you're going forward. Exhale, lunge deeply. Sink into that. All right, 2 more breaths. And then come out of that deep lunge. Tuck your toes behind you. Lift the right knee, plant the hands. Slide left foot back, plank. Come down, chaturanga. Up dog. And downward facing dog. Hold for a moment. And with a good exhale, walk, step, or jump both feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold. Weights in the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come to standing, reach up into the air. Good. Exhale, arms down by your side. Back to our home base. Some deep breaths, shake it all out if you want to. That reconnection to the ground. Being balanced on 2 feet is also a part of the practice of balancing on 1 foot. All right, so we got the first half. Now we got to add the second half. So let's go through that sequence again, and we'll add the second half. Mountain pose. Okay, we're going to start with tree pose with the leg extension. Here we go. Start shifting weight into right foot. Inhale, tall body, core engaged, exhale. Float left foot up, swing knee out to the side, foot to the inside of the leg. Sweep the arms up into the air, inhale. Exhale, core engaged. All right, let's swing left knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Then extend the leg. Sorry about that. We need to extend the leg. Reach high. Now we'll bend the left knee again, hinge forward, extend left leg back behind you, land on your toes, high lunge. Open, warrior 2. Let's straighten the right leg, turn toes forward, star shape. Inhale, reach out, get tall. Exhale, pull belly in, bend knees and fold. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold. Now we're just going to make this flow. You're going to walk immediately, both hands over towards right foot. Toes turn forward. Turn left heel lifted. Set the left knee down. Something a little different here. Lengthen the foot behind you. You're going to rise up, upper body. Reach both arms up into the air. A little difference here. Exhale, fold. Hands down to the floor in front. Tuck toes behind you, lift knee. Step back, plank pose. Come down, chaturanga. Now we're going to add on. Up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, inhale, extend right leg up. Right foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Right there. Now, see those blocks down below? We're going to fly forward into our warrior 3. Now, what you can do is shift forward so you can catch the blocks with your hands while the left leg extends up into the air. Find that balance. You can keep the arms reaching forward if they happen to be there. Hands can be on blocks, or once you've rebalanced, you can extend both arms back, reaching, or hands on thigh. All right, hands can return to the floor or blocks. Bend the left knee, bring it in towards chest. Set the foot down next to the other. Forward fold. That's our sequence. Weights in the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up, reach high. Exhale, arms down by your side. Immediately shifting weight into left foot. Tree pose. We're lifting the right foot, bent knee. Swing knee out to the side. Plug foot on the inside of the standing leg. We'll take a breath in to reach up into the air. Exhale, hold. Swing right knee forward, lifting knee, flexed foot, then extend that right leg, reaching or pushing through the heel as you reach higher for the ceiling. And then bend the knee again, hinge forward so we can step back, land on the toes back there, high lunge. Open warrior two. Lengthen left legs, star shape, so toes facing all the same direction. Reach out, inhale with the arms tall through the spine. Exhale, belly in, bent knees, and fold. We're going to flow through this, lengthening through the spine, rise up to fingertips. Exhale, fold. Walk hands over towards left foot again. Rise up on tiptoes behind you. We're setting right knee down. Lengthen the foot behind you. But we're lifting up our body so we can reach up into the air for a different style of our lunge. That's an in-breath. As we exhale, we bring hands to the floor. Tuck toes behind you. Lifting the hips, slide left foot back, plank, come down, chaturanga. Up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right, inhale, extend left leg up. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Then we're going to fly into warrior three, but know that you can reach forward and fly free-handed, or bring hands down to those stacked blocks to help with the stability of the balance. Energetically reach the right leg back behind you, finding that balance if possible, lightness on the blocks with the hands, so maybe you can take the hands off the ground, or blocks if you want, reaching back. A way of supporting yourself in the pose is actually placing the hands on the thigh. If you push firmly into the thigh, that'll help you to extend the spine, and then just energetically reach back more through your toes behind you. Let's bring the hands back down to the floor or blocks. Bend the right knee, bring it in towards chest. Set foot down next to the other, forward fold. That's our sequence. Monkey pose. Let's flow from here. Exhale again, hands to the floor. Step back, plank. Come down, chaturanga. Upward facing or cobra. And downward facing dog. Let's pause in down dog. And we're going back down to the ground. You can hop forward, cross your legs, take a seat. Roll down onto your back. You can go right into shoulder stand if you want, or just lay down flat on your back and extend both legs up in the air, which is what I'm doing. So shoulder stand is fine, or just legs extended in the air as you lie flat on your back. Again, knees can be bent. You can just hold onto the legs with your hands, or keep knees bent. And then the same movement with the feet. So flex the feet, point your toes. You can do it at the same time or one at a time. Even a little circle. Circle the feet. Again, getting into the ankles, all the joints and ligaments. All that balancing work. Very nice. If you're in shoulder stand, you're welcome to move into plow, sending the legs and toes down behind you for a few breaths. And we're going to move into a back bend. If you're in plow, you might roll out of plow and move into fish pose. So fish pose is an option for your back bend. Or if your legs were just extended straight up into the air, just bring the feet down and lift hips and come to bridge pose. You can even do a full wheel pose. So some options for your back bend today. Fish pose, I'm in bridge, or you can do full wheel. All very engaging. Hold for a few more breaths, but if you feel complete with your back bend, you can always come down to the ground. 2 more breaths if you happen to still be in your back bends and you can hold a bit longer. And then taking your time wherever you happen to be, carefully return to the earth. Once you've reconnected to the ground, extend the legs out front, arms reach behind you. Lengthen, stretch. Then hug both knees into chest. Let's take reclining cobbler's pose. So the soles of the feet will come together, Knees will point out to the side, but bring the feet to the ground. Okay, soles of the feet touch. Feet are on the ground, knees are bent, but they're pointing to opposite sides of the room. And you get that nice inner thigh stretch. Let's hold here for a little bit. Some more deep breaths. Hopefully beginning to feel a little bit more relaxed after our hamstring and balancing practice today. And about 3 more breaths in our reclining cobbler's pose. And then bring the knees together. Give yourself another little hug. We'll take a quick twist to both sides. So taking the knees over to the left side as you extend your right arm off to the right side. Two more breaths. And when you feel complete, you can bring the knees back up to center, a little hug. And then knees to the other side. Knees to the right, left arm extends out to the left. A nice relief and release for the low back and hips, perhaps. And we'll return to center. You might hug the knees in one more time toward your heart. Then extend the legs out front onto the floor, arms resting down by your side. Settle into Shavasana. Feel the body completely relax all the way. Connect to the earth, reconnecting to the earth. A true sense of grounding and connecting. You're welcome to stay here as long as you need to. Even as I end the practice, if you're very comfortable and relaxed in Shavasana, you're welcome to stay here. Take 5 slow, deep breaths when you're ready to move. Feeling this new surge of energy moving through your body. Movement returning to your body. And after your 5th breath, moving in slow motion, carefully, slowly, roll onto either side of your body. You can even hold here for a moment in this nurturing pose. And then when you're ready, take your time, continuing to move in slow motion. Guide your way up. Find a comfortable seat. Feel free to sit on a folded blanket, pillow, or a block. You might cross your legs here. Sitting up nice and tall, continuing that extended spine sensation. Shoulders are relaxed, arms are resting down by your side. Your hands may be resting in your lap or on your knees. Just find and hold this posture for a moment. And if you'd like, you can follow me here. Inhale, reach all the way up. Big stretch. Exhale, bring your hands together and down to your heart. Hold here in stillness. Take one more breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste. Thank you, everyone.